Hi everyone, wanted to share this insight. I have created this new concept which I am calling as techniquing. This means techniquing means discovering the techniques involved in a particular domain. Okay, so for example, when Leonardo da Vinci, when he was doing painting, he discovered lots of techniques, right? He discovered what is the proper use of light, how to develop perspective in a painting, usage of proportions, right? So he discovered all these new techniques. Similarly, another great example, Don Bradman in cricket, he discovered a totally new technique of batting with a cross bat, not with a straight bat, but with a cross bat. So the basic insight that I want to give in this audio note is that any great person. So actually, what is the difference between simply professionals, people who pursue a domain with a professional mindset, and what is the difference between great professionals? Greats like Don Bradman, Leonardo da Vinci, almost you can consider them to be geniuses. So the one basic difference is that these people have a habit of techniquing, which means that they have an inner desire to discover new techniques within the domain. Most professionals, they are coached by coaches, right? Or they just follow a mainstream technique, and they would simply try to follow that technique and try to become the best or better and better in that particular technique of that domain. But great people, they try to, because why, what is the value of, where does the value of techniquing come from? The value comes from the simple fact that God has not shared all these domains, whether it's painting, whether it's singing, whether it's batting, or cricket, or tennis. There is no manual from the God on these sports and all these arts, all these fields, right? Which means that human beings have the onus of discovering what are the rules. Not rules, but what are the ways of effective and superior performance. It is up to us human beings because God has not told us these things. Therefore, since it is up to us, there is no guarantee that we have already discovered all the knowledge, all the techniques in a particular game. In any sport, as you know, that technique keeps on evolving. For example, in tennis, techniques have evolved, right? The modern forehand is now more wristy than it used to be earlier. It was flat, the wrist was not used. But now, if you look at Nadal, is an extreme example, but anyone plays now with a very different. There is a modern backhand, right? There is a classic, there is a modern forehand. There is a classic forehand, right? These two are different. So, in any, even in high jump, any is maybe I'm sure in swimming, everywhere the techniques keeps on evolving. But what professionals do, they just the coaches find out the new techniques from somewhere, I don't know from where, and then they train the disciples, the professionals on the new techniques. But what separates a professional from a great professional is that the professionals have an inner interest, inner desire to find out the science. And then this is what I call as techniquing. The sad thing is that there is no separate subject that is taught to us as kids about techniquing, that anything that you do has technique to it. Studying has a technique, doing a job has a technique, as a student, as a professional in a job, or as an entrepreneur, any business, everything has certain rules, certain science. Technique basically means science, natural science that applies to that domain so that you can do better and better. So this is my point. Thank you.